Do not relax your hair every 6 weeks as indicated on relaxer packages. Don't do it. Hi guys, wagwan, welcome back to my channel. It is your girl Sashelle, and today I have a good one for you. If you haven't already been a part of the family, what are you doing? What are you doing? Go ahead, hit that subscribe button and join the family. We have an awesome family here, guys. If you already are a part of the family, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Today, guys, I am gonna go in and I'm gonna let you know the 15 things that I think you should restrict from doing, refrain from doing, don't do it, not do it. Things that I think you should not do when you are thinking about getting relaxed, when you're getting your relaxers, after you get relaxed, and all of that. I have a relaxer series going on, guys, so I'm gonna link up here in the cards a playlist of all my relaxer videos. I'm gonna also link in the end screen that playlist and also my hair journey playlist on a whole. So guys, you know that I got you covered in every details of your relaxer, so you can smooth the transition into relaxing, or if you're already a relaxer girl, you can just go ahead and be educated about that. So without further ado and without further rambling, let's get on into my first don't is do not forget to prep your hair. And I know when I say this, it's gonna be like why do I need to prep? The reason why I emphasize, and I also have a video on my relaxer series where I show you how I prep for my relaxers, and you should go ahead and check out those videos, guys. It's very informative. But guys, you can't forget to prep for your relaxers. You don't want to leave your hair by chance, hoping that you don't get scalp burns, don't get chemical burns, hoping that you don't over process, hoping that you don't under process and all. Prep your hair. Chemical processing is an extreme process and it impacts on the state of your hair, so you have to ensure that you're prepped and ready to go into getting your relaxer. So tip number 2, don't forget to detangle. And this step is very important, especially for my beauties here who are also going through their stretches with me. Like, you know for a fact, at least I stretch for 3 months. So with a lot of new growth and difference in textures between your new growth and your relaxed hair, you have to ensure that you detangle properly. One, to ensure that you can get the best smoothest transition into your relaxer, but not only that, but ensuring that you don't irritate your scalp too much. When you detangle, you ensure that get rid of all those knots that will come up on relaxer day, because nobody wants gonna get their hair relaxed, and on top of being a lot of texture from your new growth, it's also very matted and knotted when you're going in trying to part out sections to detangle. It makes your relaxer experience smoother. It also ensures that your scalp is not irritated. It also makes the process easier going through. You don't want to end up with an undetangled mess when you are going into your relaxer day. It takes time, and then you know that when you're doing your relaxers, you have a particular time period that you need to get it in and out, and if you're not detangled, it is gonna be a struggle. Number 3, do not wash your hair no later than a week prior to relaxing your hair. And this is very, very important, because in wash day a lot of manipulation occurs. So when you are washing your hair, I know a lot of persons who wash multiple times per week, and if that is the case, you want to ensure that that week prior to relaxing you don't want to wash more than once, because then you're gonna go back to the chances of getting chemical burns and all of that, because you have manipulated your hair too much and irritated your scalp. And for everything that I mentioned before, I mentioned irritating your scalp, which is the major problem in getting our relaxers, and this can lead to the awful chemical burns. And I've seen some severe chemical burns, scabs and all type of, just because they have either they have sensitive scalp or they have irritated their scalp. So you definitely do not want to do anything that will lead to irritation or having your scalp being bothered too much during that week prior to getting your relaxer. So don't forget this step at all. The next tip that I have, do not skip coating your ends. And I've seen a lot of persons do this and refuse to coat their ends, but this is what happens. Coating your ends is basically adding a layer or barrier to your hair, so that when the relaxer runoffs, or even when to where you're applying the relaxer, it does not go on to the parts that are already relaxed. because remember, your hair don't revert. You're gonna always have those relaxed ends, so you have to make sure that you protect your relaxed ends, trying to not overlap on your relaxers by coating those ends. And I personally use petroleum jelly, or use an oil that you like, petroleum base, and use it to coat your ends, because those oils tend to not get anything through. Wherever it goes on, it kind of sits on it, and this creates a barrier between your already relaxed hair and your new growth, so that when you apply the relaxer to it, you do not overlap on those relaxers. Because sometimes you do not deliberately go in and apply relaxer to your hair, but you have to think about relaxer runoff. That is like when you go to wash out your hair, and the relaxer that kind of is dripping or drooling down onto your hair when you're washing it out. So sometimes it's not deliberate, and you might get relaxer onto that already relaxed portion. So when you coat the ends, it limits the impact of relaxer going onto the old relaxed hair. The next one is do not overlap your relaxers, and I kind of mentioned how not coating your ends can lead to that, but one now is talking specifically to persons who, and hairdressers. I know hairdressers who literally they apply the relaxer to the entire strand of hair, and that is a big no-no. You do not need to relax already relaxed hair. That will make your hair weak and brittle and break. So the only time that you really and truly need to go through the entire hair with relaxer is when you're getting a virgin perm. That is when you're just getting started. And once you have done that, you do not need to go in and coat the entire hair. Big no-no. Big no-no. Do not leave relaxer in too long. And I at a point was a bit of guilty of this, where I would leave the relaxer in, and if I apply it and I'm not burning, I will just let it sit there until I feel like it is burning, and then I'll rinse that out. To be honest, in a healthy relaxed hair journey, you really and truly do not need to go bone straight. You just need to use the relaxer to kind of smooth out the texture a bit and make your hair more manageable. So when you go through your entire hair, especially if you're someone who processes very fast, you go through and you apply the relaxer in about 15 to 20 minutes. When you're done, you rinse that out. That is enough relaxer for you. You can let it stay a little bit more based on what you want and the results that you want. But know that the longer you leave the relaxed hair in, the more protein bonds are broken down, the higher the possibility of breakage, the higher the possibility of damage. And I mentioned this, but I'm going to put it under its own category. Do not wait until your relaxer is burning to rinse that out. And as I mentioned in my last video, I will link it here. We in the black community, that was our cue to rinse out our hair. So we have the relaxer sitting on our hair for however long until it starts to burn our scalp, and that is when we hurry to go in and rinse that out. And I don't know, that is how we grew and that is what we know. But now that we learn new things and we learn how to do things better, then we take up better practices. You get your hair looking nice, but not over processed, because over processing is a major issue from that you can get if you leave your relaxer in for too long. The next don't that I have in getting your relaxers is do not forget to neutralize. Neutralizing is the first step after you get your relaxer, but one of the most important steps in your relaxer process. Neutralizing minimizes the effect of the chemical that was placed on your hair. That neutralizing stops the chemical processing of the relaxer. So if you do not neutralize, and even though you think you rinse out your hair, you might still have residue of relaxer left, causing your hair to be over processed and the result of your relaxers to be out of whack. So you want to ensure that you go in and you neutralize your hair. So ensure that you not only stop the relaxer from processing, but also ensure that your hair goes back to that not so alkaline state that it went in when you got your relaxer. Because when you get your relaxer, level of alkalinity of your hair goes way up when you get your relaxers, because relaxers are highly alkaline. So neutralizers take back down your hair to around a 7 on the alkalinity and acidity scale, and on the pH scale of hair at the state where the hair is healthiest. Next one is do not skip your protein treatments. I know a lot of persons that protein treat prior to do their relaxers, and some like myself will protein treat after relaxers. And when I'm talking about protein treat, I'm talking about your deep protein treatment. And for me, I use the AlphaG 2-step protein treatment, as you guys know, and I use that 7 days after I go in and I get my relaxers. Some persons do their protein treatment prior to their relaxers, so as to kind of create that barrier. So worse, if your hair is in a very awful state, this is good because then it builds up the protein bonds in the hair before getting the relaxer. So when the relaxer impacts on the hair, it's not so extreme. As for me, my hair is in a good state as it relates to my protein balance, so I do my protein treatments immediately after. So whatever the relaxer takes out, I try to replenish that and build that back up in my after I get my relaxer in my deep protein treatment. Ensure that you go in and you protein treat to replenish those protein bonds in your hair. My next tip is do not use too many different relaxers in your hair. I think one of my subbies had mentioned to me, can they use both, like lyes and no lyes and all of that, and my recommendation was no. And my recommendation for no is that because you have to give your hair the opportunity to learn your regimen, learn your products and all of that, and using too many different products can put your hair out of whack and just not know what to do. So if you are using lyes, stick to lyes for a while. If you decide to change, don't just change to no-lye and then go back to lye. If you decide to make a change like I am doing now, go in and you try it for a period, and then if you choose to revert, then you can revert. But don't do lye this time, no lye next time. Don't do just for me this time and then do motions this time. Less is more, especially in this case. Do not relax your hair every 6 weeks as indicated on relaxer packages. Don't do it. As I mentioned in a video prior to this, and I'm gonna put it here if I can remember what video it is, every product is designed for a particular reason. Relaxers are used to basically sleek down your hair, make your hair more soft, manageable, and all of that. So relaxers are not thinking about the health of your hair per se. That is not, yes, they will incorporate products that will make your hair flourish better, but that is not the intent. The intent is really and truly to relax the cortex of the hair so that the hair is softer, straighter, and smoother. A relaxer package is telling you relax every 6 weeks, because every 6 weeks you will have new growth and the sleekness and the straightness will kind of be reverted. It is not that it is better for you to relax your hair, and you will realize that when you reach the 6 weeks, you do not have enough new growth to go ahead and perm, causing overlapping, over processing, and all of that. Going into a healthy hair journey, you will know that 6 weeks is much too little time to go in and get another relaxer. Another tip I have is do not forget to remoisturize. And I find, especially in my hair, after I get a relaxer, my hair is at its driest state, and we know that that can be the issue because of the chemicals and so in the relaxer. So don't skip on your condition, especially deep condition, whether you're gonna do a moisturizing deep condition or a protein based deep condition on relaxer day, or you're gonna do both like I do. Ensure that you re-moisturize so that you replenish your hair with the moisture that it needs, because we know for a fact dry hair breaks and we don't want that. So don't skip your re-moisturizing process and your deep conditioning. Do not forget to trim your hair, or do not refuse to trim your hair. Every relaxer day I try to get my trims, so that means that I get my trims every about 4 times or 3 times a year based on how long I stretched. Schedule your trims. So if it is 2 times a year that works for you, do it 2 times. If every time you get a relaxer you don't need a trim, then don't trim. But as your hair is relaxed, it's in the straightest stage, is the best time to really go in and get your trims done so you can see all the imperfections. Number 15, and my most important tip, is do not skip your routine. Everything that you're doing is preparing your hair for the next relaxer day. So for the 3 months that you're going in after you get a relaxer, and that 3 months that you're going in is gonna prepare your hair for a relaxer day, because relaxer day is your result day. That is the day that you're gonna see the benefits of your work. So do not skip up on your routine. Do not feel like, oh, I got a fresh perm, so I'm gonna leave my hair like this for a while because I want. Don't do it. At least, I'm not gonna say that, because for me, for 1 week after I get my relaxer, I kind of slack off. I don't do much. I leave my hair down, which I don't normally do, and I don't put in as much products because I don't want it to weigh down, and I kind of want to enjoy it. So if you want to enjoy it, give yourself a few days, enjoy your hair, let it down, and basically enjoy the fruits of your work and your labor. But once that little break is done, go back into your routine, your protective styling, your moisturizing and sealing, your deep conditioning, your auto oil treatments, and all of that, because that is what got you to this state. So enjoy your hair as much as possible, but don't forget to keep up on your routine, because it is the routine and the dedication to that routine that gets your hair to its healthiest state. Let us go in, let us grow, and let us have healthy hair. That is the goal for 2021. Healthier and longer hair. So go on that journey with me. Follow these tips, because these tips I know for a fact will help you in your relaxed hair journey. If there's anything that you think that I missed that I probably should have mentioned as I don't in this video, don't forget to comment down below and let me know. If there's any other questions that you have regarding my relaxed hair or my relaxed hair journey, don't forget to mention it down below in the comment box, guys. Thank you all for your support. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and don't forget to hit that like button and share me out, because you know that helps your girl. And I'll see you next time. Ta-da!